Hmm. Hello. Welcome to week two for Global Case Studies. I'm Darren. We'll be talking a little bit about what to expect this week. But first of all, we'll need to read chapters 3 and chapters 4 of the class text, and also complete case study number 2 on China auto parts. Now, later this week and next week, we'll start scheduling our video chats for the rest of the term. And remember, each student will need to participate in 2 video chats with other students and with myself. Now, I'll make sure we have a lot of different schedule offerings, so we'll find something that works for each of you. So, chapter 3 of our text talks about supply chain relationships and their importance. Also covers international trade growth, both in the goods and services sectors, the topics of outsourcing and offshoring, and also integration and collaboration in the supply chain. First of all, some trends from globalization of the manufacturing sector. So we've seen the increase in global competition, also global sourcing and presence globally, more complexity and more competition throughout the value chain, access to leading technologies, and not just leading technologies, but rapidly advancing technologies, including in supply chain, and the need for supply chain management expertise and innovation. Okay, some key terminology I'd like to go over real quickly here. First of all, outsourcing. That's when we transfer a process or an activity to a third party that was previously performed by my own company. Offshoring, that's where we transfer the process to another country that costs less. And cost is a driving factor in offshoring decisions. Example could be the companies in China that manufacture various products because of a low cost structure as compared to other countries. Nearshoring is when we move an offshore activity to a country that's closer to my home market in the hope that it will reduce risks and potentially delays. And backshoring is abandoning the offshore arrangement altogether and moving the activity back to the home market. An important area in supply chain, and I believe this will continue in its importance in the future, is corporate social responsibility. Now, some call this doing the right thing. It includes things like professional ethics, my practices that impact the environment, labor conditions, how do I treat my employees, safety practices, and also do I value diversity, both in the suppliers that I work with and the diversity within my own company. So I think we have to ask ourselves, what are the company values? What's important to my company? And if I'm looking at an outsourcee or someone that I'd look to outsource with, uh, do their values align with my own company's values? And if they don't, there are some risks and potential impacts that we need to think about. Things like potential damage to my reputation, to my brand, or even a loss of market share. Now, I can tell you that here at Portland State, when we do our sourcing and contracts of any type, we definitely look at corporate social responsibility and in particular equity and diversity. Okay, that was chapter 3. Chapter 4 is entitled Supply Chain Strategies. So we look at both corporate and supply chain management strategies. Lean production and agile supply chains are covered, and critical factors in supply chain planning. Okay, first let's talk about strategy development and kind of the traditional top down approach that we've seen for many years and still see today in some areas. A corporate strategy is kind of the overarching top strategy that drills down into a business unit strategy, and finally a functional strategy and how I will operate, say, in marketing or production. So that's pretty traditional, but it can result in what we call functional silos, where different parts of the organization are not really communicating or collaborating, kind of doing their own things in a vacuum. Now, supply chain can't afford to do that. We need to make sure our supply chain strategy takes a holistic approach, and that means collaborative and cross functional across the organization. Okay, some principles of supply chain management. These have been around a long time. These are from the Supply Chain Management Review. Let's go back to that. So these 7 principles, tried and true over the past decade. So let's look at them quickly. First of all, segment customers based on service needs. Also, customize the logistics networks to service requirements and customer segments, all while operating profitably. Listen to the market signals and aligned our demand planning according to those signals. Differentiate products closer to the customer. Manage our supply sources to reduce the total cost of ownership to my company. Develop a supply chain management technology strategy. That's more important than ever now, I believe. And finally, to adopt performance measures to gauge success in the supply chain as far as efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, case study 2 that you'll find in your text. It's called Collaborative Planning in an Auto Parts Supply Chain in China, a tale of 2 Tier 1 suppliers. So, auto manufacturing in China typically selects one supplier to provide the same range of parts, but for various car models. And you'll see a bit more about that in the case. Now, things to consider in the case and in your analysis: product flow, inventory management, how do I transfer information, and ultimately to determine how do we ensure success through collaborative planning and forecasting in the supply chain. Okay, that's it. Hope you have a great week.